All right, we'll do the second Mamer in Yom Kippur in Likutei Torah. Mamer is Shabbosin hu lochem v'inisem es nafsheseichem b'sisha lachodesh ba'erev v'goymer. Talks about Yom Kippur, that Yom Kippur is considered Shabbosin, the rest for you. And the pasuk also says that you should afflict your souls on the 9th day of the month in the evening. So the Rebbe piles up, the Alter Rebbe piles up a bunch of questions over here, and also in comparison, the way the pasuk is in the portion of Emer, which this pasuk is in Emer, which is the Parshas HaKorbanos, and the way it is in the portions of Acharei Mois, where the Torah describes in detail the service of Yom Kippur. So over here, this pasuk is from the portion of Emer. So over there it says that you should afflict your soul on the 9th day, Ba'erev. So it says, Lahavin, we need to understand, Mahu b'tisha, b'tishi, mibo'ilei. He should have said on the 9th, Tishi, not Tisha. Tishi is in the 9th day of the month. So the grammar over here is a little bit different than seemingly that it should be. So Lahavin Ma'u b'tisha, it should say b'tishi in the 9th. And also Mashikosu, over here it says Shabbos Shabbosin hu lochem. Who is Loshen Zohar? He is a masculine. But earlier in the portion of Acharei, over there we talk about Yom Kippur, we say Shabbos Shabbosin he. So that's in a feminine language. Another thing is, B'shom Nemar, over there it says, V'inisem es nafshei seichem, chukas olam. So the pasuk says that the afflicting of the soul is an eternal rule. But v'loi nemar b'tzisha b'chodesh k'mo shechosu kan. Over there, it doesn't say at the 9th of the month, like it says here, the Parshas Emer, like we're saying in our pasuk. So why over there it doesn't say B'chlal B'tisha Lachodesh, and by us it says B'tisha Lachodesh? It's Tzarich in Tamashinu. So we need to understand the reason for this difference. Another thing is, over here, it seems that by us it would be more fitting to say that it's chukas olam. In the parshas Emer, more chukas olam. Why? Because the parshas Acharei Mevuer Kol Seder Avodas Kahani Kohen Gadol v'Yom Kippurim. Over there in the parsha, it discusses the entire service, the order of the service of the Kohen Gadol Yom Kippur. When is that? That is only in the Beis Hamikdash. We don't do it all the time. You need a Beis Hamikdash in order to do the avodah of the Kohen Gadol. So it seems like that's not really forever. It's not chukas olam. We don't do it forever. We only do it when there's a Beis Hamikdash. As opposed to here in the portion of Emer, over here we're talking about mainly the Ikra Parsha who say that Amoyadis. The main thing of the Parshas of Emer is the order of all the Yom Tovim. The Torah goes through all the Yom Tovim. That applies also nowadays when we don't have a Beis Hamikdash. We still have Yom Tovim. So over here, in Cain, in that case, so over here, it should have said Chukas Olam, because we have the Yom Tov forever. So why did the pasuk change and wrote over there specifically Chukas Olam, but not over here? Hine, Ksiv, Kipur al hakodesh mitumas b'nei Yisrael. And this is the pasuk over there in the Parshas Achrei, in the Parshas Achrei Mois. So the Torah says there, he shall forgive on the holiness from the tumah of the Bnei Yisrael. V'tzorich lohavin mahu inyan hakapora al hakodesh. What is this idea of the atonement for the kodesh? In the Pashtus, it talks about when a person walks into the Beis Hamikdash in his tummy, so he's sort of defiling the Beis Hamikdash, the kodesh. But over here, what is the idea of a kapora? Did the kodesh do a sin? Another question. Unusual, the Alter Rebbe brings down a whole bunch of questions, not just some. It says also in the end of the parsha, the kipur as migdash hakodesh. So first it says v'chipar al hakodesh, and then at the end of the parsha over there it says migdash hakodesh. Madua shina hakodesh v'achach loimar migdash hakodesh. Why did it change? And he says migdash hakodesh. First, we need to introduce the general idea of the mitzvahs. Mitzvahs, basically, as the Alter Rebbe will explain, help to elevate the person's neshama to even a higher level than the neshama was before it came down into this world. The mitzvahs accomplish that. For it's known the tachlis yeridas haneshama la'ilam hazeh. What is the goal of the descent of the neshama into this world? Is because in this world hayom today we can do the mitzvahs. Mitzvahs we can do the mitzvahs. That's why the neshama comes down in this world to do mitzvahs. The Zohar says, what does it mean? Avram was old and he came with days. What does it mean he came with days? So it explains over there, these days he came with his days means he came with all of his garments that are made, become from the mitzvahs. That the person does in them. The person's activities bring about the levush. The pasuk says Yomim Yitzaru, that the days were created, meaning Yomim Yitzaru, meaning these garments were created for the person to do the mitzvahs. And because the mitzvahs are the various different garments that the person needs in order to be elevated, to go Gan Eden and to the highest madrigas, you need all the garments. Every person needs to fulfill all the 613 mitzvahs. Now, you're going to ask, but there's certain mitzvahs that belong to a kohen, there's certain mitzvahs that belong to a Levi. How are we going to fulfill all these mitzvahs? So he says, well, we need the garments, we need the yomim, we need the garments, yomim mitzvah, we need those garments. And he adds, mitzvahs kahanim v'kohen gadol, and each one has to learn, even those mitzvahs of kahanim and kohen gadol, person also needs to. Ayidei ibur, a gilgul, either through a level in sort of a Kabbalah, there's either a level through pregnancy, which means in somebody else's, or through reincarnation. So you have to do, the only exception that is the laws that apply to a king. You can't say that the king is moitzi, but we're talking about this exception from that. Still discusses this in other places. Mishum, the chosra choda, chosra levusha choda. Because if you're missing one mitzvah, you're missing a garment. So here we know that we need all the levushim that come from all the mitzvahs. To understand what is this idea of these garments. So first we have to understand the statement of neshama shenasato bihi tohirahi ato v'rasukul. The soul that you're giving me, that's pure, you created it. We have to understand, and we'll figure out, we'll learn, where is the source of the neshama. The neshama comes from a very high place, and the neshama has to go up to even a higher place, through the mitzvahs, through the garments. Pirush. When the source of the neshama, while it's still in the source from which it's carved out, nikra tehoira. Over there is called tehoira. Ki tohir hu loshin ha'ora ubehiris. Tohir is pure, is the language of shine and clarity and shining. Like we say, ke'etzem hashamayim l'tohar, like the sky in its purity. So why is it called? Why is it called Torah? Why is it so pure? Because then it's the level of Elokus. And then later on, what happens? When it descends from the Makar Chaitzram, the level of Tahira, to dress up in a body. So it goes through a procedure, a process, an evolution. It evolves. First, it goes down in the level of Bria. Then it's created Yesh Mi'ai. Like the Pasuk says, the Eibishter is created it. So that's the level of Bria. That is Atu Yitzarta, meaning is Olam HaMalachim. The Shama comes down into the world of the Malachim. So hey Bechinas Ishtalshlus Viridas an Shama Mimadregas Madrega. That's the descent and the involvement as the neshama descends from one step to the other step. Like a chain which holds one ring, holds on to the other one. Until you come to the level that is Ba'olam HaAsiyah. That is in the world of Asiyah. Slapsha, Ba'olam Hazeh, Beguf HaChumri, dressed up in this world in a materialistic body. So this is the evolution, the way the neshama comes down. Starts up with the level of Tahira, goes down to Bria, and then you see. We know the Yerida Tzorech Aliyah, that this descent is for the purpose of an elevation. So while it came down from a very high place, but it's meant to go up for an elevation even higher. To go up higher than the place which was carved out, which is the level of Torah. Who al yidei Maisa HaMitzvahs. That happens through the Maisa HaMitzvahs. In the blessing on the mitzvahs, we say, Asher Shonu b'mitzvahs. Opirush Aidei HaMitzvahs Anachnu Nis'alim b'Bchinas Kodesh HaElyein. Kiddishonu b'mitzvahs means he sanctified us. So we become, through the mitzvahs, we reach the level of the Supreme Kodesh. Shehi lamayla mebchinas tahira. That's higher than tahira. We start off with the level of tahir, and we reach to the level of kodesh. We see, what do we see? This we see that the kohanim we know are greater than the Leviim. The kohanim are referred to as kodesh, and the Leviim as tahir, and that's tells us that the level of kedusha which the neshama reaches is a lot higher than the neshama should have to be. Torah. Kenoida shekedusha bekohanim. Kedusha is by kohanim. Kimesha koso, as the pasuk says, vikidashtoi. So we see that that's the level of kedusha by a kohen. And v'tahara he b'levim. Tahara is by levim. Kimesha koso v'choisasel lahem l'tahara mazeh aleim. So over there is the level of tahara. Just like the advantage of the Kohanim is much higher and elevated over the level of the Levim. Likewise, the level of Kodesh, which is where it lives, which we reach through the mitzvahs, is much higher than the level of Tahir, a pure where the Neshama is before. To understand this idea, we're understand it by explaining the idea of Sefer Kol Mal Kolam. When we talk about above and we say Hashem, so to speak, his machshava and Hashem's dibur, then we're talking about a level of, they are in the level of Malaklam. What is it? It fills it, because when a person thinks and reflects on something, then his thought is actually dressed up and it's stuck in that matter, and it's surrounded. That means memale, it fills it, it's inside it. That's how it works by a person. So the person is invested in it. So therefore, same thing, so to speak, when we talk about Hashem's machshava, Hashem's dibur. So the energy that comes in the 10 sayings, the dibur, which is Yehi Oiri Hireki Yachulu, Umislabesh v'nitzvas mamesh b'teicha oilames lach yosem. It dresses up and it is captured inside the world to vitalize them and surrounded by them. That's Mamali, it fills them. That's the Asora Mamoris. And the same thing is with the vitality and the letters that come from Machshove, which Machshove functions also in creation of the world, because we say that is with one thought Hashem created the world. So also, it also dresses up inside the world. Here too, we do Chokhmah, that's the level of understanding, which is the level of Machshava. So what does it mean? Tazriya, Daknam Gimel Oreisha Madalev, Kulam b'Chokhmah Osisa b'Bina. Chokhmah, the Bina, that's called the level of Machshava. So Kulam b'Chokhmah Osisa, where did Hashem create everything with the level of Bina of Machshava? Pirush, Ki Bina Ibchines Machshava Ilah. Bina, that's the supreme thought. Elosha Machshava. So what's the difference between Dibur and Machshava? They're both in the world. They're both Mamalakal Almim. Elosha machshava imchaya om is still mean the lois gal. Machshava vitalizes the hidden words that have not been revealed. That's the level of machshava. But dibur machaya mahava almid is galin. The dibur vitalizes and creates the world that are revealed. But they are both the level of Memalukulam. Explains in the parentheses now. Kibina mekanano bikursaya. It says bina nes in the couch, which is Abriya. That's the level of Briya, is called the kursaya. Vizo and Zeir Ampin the Midas, they are the Yitzira. And Malchus is Basiya, Bahainu. Shloishim Kelim the Atzilis, Nasim, Neshama, Libya. Those are the 30 vessels of Atzilus that become the soul of Briya Yitzira Asiya. So the Yud Kelim Hapnimim, the 10 inner Kelim, there's 10 spheres, and each of the spheres has 3 Kelim, outside, inside, and middle. So it's a total of 30. So from this 30 Kelim, the 10 inner Kelim, they come down to the level of Briya. The middle Kelim come down to Vatichonim, Yitzira. Vachitzonim, Nas Neshama Libya, Lasiya. That becomes the Neshama Lasiya, which also goes along with the idea of Bina and Briya and Zoy Yitzira Machos Basiya. Vayim Vizavi Geras HaKodesh HaPosik Yaz David Shom. So what did we try to equate now? We're saying that the level of Machshava and Dibur are the level of Memaluk, because we brought the example from our thought and speech, the way it works by a person. So even though my thoughts are not your thoughts, so how could we learn from the thought by a person which is engaged, which is Torah? And what it means is not Shamachshova Etzli is Borech, Eino Melabeshes Mehusav Atzmus is Borech, which basically means that Hashem's Machshova does not dress up his essence. And by a person, the Neshama itself come down in his Machshova Dibur, but not by Hashem. And that's why I, Hashem, have not changed, because it's not, Hashem is not invested in the level of creation so that the creation should make a difference to him. Not like the person whose essence is dressed up in the machshava. So it seems that it's not the same from the machshava, the maluk alman, that we're trying to bring the example from the person. The Torah uses the language of people. Just like physically, that which the person expresses from his mouth, so that it should be revealed, heard by, and revealed to the other one, is Nikra B'Shem Dibur. We call that Dibur when you say something which comes outside of your mouth and the other one can hear it. That the air that is in your mouth is felt, and that it appears as a entity, as something which is separated from the root. As opposed to the letters of the even though they're only the garments of the nefesh, still they don't descend to be a separate entity. So this we see by the person, a difference between his oishis hadibur and the level of machshava. Likewise above, So even though there is nothing outside of Hashem, so how could we say that it's separate from Hashem, the level of Dibur, Mikol Makoim? Because of the obscurity, the blockage of the light, and by the ways of the descendant, it's in the restriction. To vitalize worlds that are separated. Shem Yesh, the Dover, Shem Nidim, Yesh Dover Nifra, they appear to be a entity and something separate. That is called, although in truth they're not separate, but that's called Nikra. That energy that flows within them to vitalize them, similar that is Davar Nifrod, Shem Oisis Adibur in the way of name is Adibur. Alderech Moshul, Dibur Ha'adam, that's what it's Chulu, right?
Yes.
Aval, Almin, Stilmin, same beginner's Bittul Yosef. But the hidden worlds which are more bottled, more subjugated. Similar, so elsewhere, the Inyan Beza Bechines, the Yam Yabosha, the two levels of the ocean and the dry land. So Inyan Alma Diskasya, Alma Disgalia. That's the idea of the world of that's hidden and the world is revealed. So Nikra Chayis B'Toich B'Mislabish B'Toicham. So then the energy that dresses up in them to vitalize them, Shemaisa Machshava. That's called the words of Machshava. So now we're going to sort it out a little bit. So the Yidden come from the level of Machshava, whereas Malachim come from the level of Dibur, and yet we go up to the level of higher, that's the level of Torah here, we go up to the level of Kedusha. They come from the level of revealed. One of the Srafim flew to me. I'm not so sure what is the evidence from this pasuk, because it was a physical malach that came to him, so that means that it's revealed. Musaber bechinas dibur, they come from dibur. Like the pasuk says, nasu of ruach piv kol tzva. So it says that the ruach piv, that the word of Hashem, the heavens were created, and the ruach piv is all the tzva. So that's the level of ruach. That's the level of malachim, come from the level of dibur, the ruach, or the actual dibur is the shemayim, there's the ruach, but still, it's all associated to the dibur. Aval Yisrael, olu b'machshava b'chinas olmas stimim. They went up in machshava in the level of olmas stimim. Nikra neshama tahira. So it's called tahira. Ki almin stimin hainu b'chinas tahira. For this hidden world is not the level of tahira. Why? The Inyan Hahelem, why is it blocked, obscured, is Shemachmas Toikef Oire V'Godel Birosei Yi Efsher Loyli Lovel Deis Galus. That it's so strong, the light, you can't come revealed. You know, when you come into a place and it's too much light, you can't see. That means that it's Tahira here, that's why it's dark, because cannot take it. So first we say creates light, that's Yitzira. Bria is Cheshach. Why is darkness? Cheshach is higher than the light, because that means it's a level that you can't perceive. And that's why, see, when you touch the tefillin, you say Yetzer Oir, you touch the Yashal Yad, and when you say Berech Cheshach, you touch the Shel Rosh, because the Cheshach hints to the Tefillin Shel Rosh. Shebechinas Chabad, that's the level of Chacham Bin Adas. Mashenkin Yitzhak is the tefillin shel yad. Yitzhak hints for the tefillin shel yad. K'mo yal derech moshul. God have a very strong light, big light. Because it's so strong, it darkens the seeing. We actually stuck boy, and you can't look at it. The pasuk says, that he placed in darkness because there where Hashem is in such a powerful light, and over there is dark. But King Khan, likewise over here, since it comes from such a clear, spectacular, that's called Tohir, okay, that's why it cannot be revealed. It's called level of machshava.
Okay, thank you.